Hello, beautiful people. Luke Corletto back. So, change of plans. We're going live now. Still unable to get the live streaming service rocking like I was wanting to, so we could go into a private link and go down some rabbit holes for this free training that I was offering. But unfortunately, that's not working. So to be of service, we're just going to do it right here. Those who can participate live with me, great. I'll leave it up on the link for a while as well too. So as you can see, this is impromptu. I wouldn't be wearing this if I was going to teach some kind of training. Why am I doing this? Well, because Spirit says so, and doing my best to pay it forward, to help shift, even if it's just a little bit, what's happening in the consciousness around the planet right now. Look, I get it, and so I travel a lot. I was just in LA. Tomorrow I'll be in DC. And so I'm still going to be traveling, and as much as I can until the physicality of traveling stops, right? But I'm not stopping. My life isn't canceled. And so the reason I'm inspired to share, and if this resonates, stay with me, right? And this is live. So my master AV tech is going to be looking for comments in a little bit. I'll quit yapping and I'll look at some comments and love to hear some feedback. If you're just going to be a hater, man, just hit delete and go away right now, because I'm not going to respond to any hate stuff. If you've got insights for me, love to hear it. If you have questions and I can answer them, happy to do so. If I can't, I'll tell you that as well. But here to be of service. So I want to cover a couple grounds. First and foremost, this is happening, right? So it's blindsided everybody. I did my best to, the last couple of weeks to share some ideas about don't get blindsided, to give you some heads up because I saw it coming. But it's here, right? It's here upon us. And please understand that life will never be the same again, even when this time period passes. And it's going to pass. Remember that. Breathe into that. The chaos that's happening right now, wherever you are in the world, is going to settle back down. But life will never be the same. So take this time, especially if you're in areas where there's quote-unquote lockdown already happening. Take that time. Be with your family. Or if you're by yourself, be with yourself. But remember, you're never alone, right? So don't go into panic around any of that. You're not alone. We're in this together. So take a time to reflect on life, right? From the basics of, so let me take this concept as managing in your environment. We'll take this one piece, right? I'm not going to go super deep into all of these concepts, because in about 3 weeks, I am teaching a live event right here called The Art of Living. And if you would like to attend, great. If you can still travel, come with me. And if you can't, you can even attend live stream, right? So let's talk about managing your environment. Let me pull up this screen here. Manage your environment. Cool. So what do I mean by that? Well, two places. Environment, right? So manage your external environment. And some of my perspectives are going to be a little different than what most people are telling you out there. And I'm really having to check myself right now, because I know a lot of people have a lot of stuff coming up, right? Especially in the form of fear. But what I'm going to share with you from my perspective, and that is real from, again, this isn't a jack in the box, right? What I'm going to talk about is I'm talking about from a place of expertise. I didn't read this in a book. I've been studying this and living it for multiple decades, over 30 years. So managing your environment, it's much more powerful than washing your hands. Cool? That's a nice hygienic process. Keep doing that no matter what. But manage the environment. If you're getting overwhelmed, reduce the input of people that are freaking you out. So stop watching the media so much. If your friends and family are really freaking out, don't communicate with them so much right now. Let them freak out by themselves. Get yourself grounded, and then reach back out and help them calm down, right? But chaos continues to unfold when everybody else reinforces the fear and the panic and the overwhelm. So step back from that. Manage your environment. That's up to you. I've watched so many people just in the last few days, like they're getting texts from their friends and families that are all freaked out, so they're freaking out. Don't read the text. That's up to you. Manage your environment. Put your phone down for a few minutes. A bunch of hours preferably, but even for a few minutes. Most importantly, manage your inner environment, right? I'll come back to the external environment in a second as well. But manage your inner environment, meaning like that, right? What are you putting into here? What are you allowing in? How much of the media and the news are you just constantly watching that is based on fear, right? I'm not saying don't be informed, but monitor the amount that you're allowing to be subjected to that's causing panic, anxiety. And then the second piece, we're going to talk about some breathing to bring you about all of that, right? To bring you back and get you grounded so you can stay calm, peaceful, remember who you are, get back into trust, and know all is good, right? I've spoken to some friends that are in Europe who their businesses have been closed and economic stuff is coming up. I get it, right? Everyone's going to be affected. But remember that you can get through all of this. Don't let those actions get you going sideways. That's going to cause more panic. Manage your internal environment. You have been through some serious stuff in your life already. You're on the planet. I know that to be true. You've made it. So remember that. Remember those times when times were tough. And you've made through that. It was your health. It was your relationship. It was your finances. Somewhere, you've already had your ass handed to you. And you've made it on the other side of that. Keep that forefront, right? Because this is another time that's going to require you to stay grounded and remember that you're strong. And you're stronger than you might think right now when your foundation, the ground underneath you, seems to be crumbling. It's not crumbling, but it does need to be reorganized, yeah? So take this time while you have and really reflect on what you want to do with your life from this point forward. Start simplifying your life. There's some people that aren't allowed to travel even outside of their homes where they're living at. So, yeah, you might not be doing your fancy dinners. You might be back to PB&J. Great, that's when times are simple, right? Have some popcorn. Watch a cool documentary or a movie or something, but stuff that enlivens you and brings peace, not terror and threat and fear. Breathe. I'll talk about breathing in a second. So really pay attention to managing your environment. It's critical. Languaging, right? So it's one of the topics I'll be teaching in the Art of Living. Conscious languaging. Be mindful what you're saying to yourself, let alone what you're letting in from others. What are you believing about yourself? When the challenges of life in our external environment are happening, and they're happening, how are you handling them? Are you staying strong about who you are? Or are you starting to have self-judgments and self-doubts about your capacities? That's understandable if you are. But the reason I'm offering this sharing right now is to remind you, you're human, great, but you have the capacity to choose. You can choose to keep going sideways or backwards about self-judgment, or you can go reboot and come back online to remember who you are and that you're amazing and that your capacity to handle anything thrown at you is greater than you even think. So that's one of the gifts about this challenging time right now. We all get to up-level. How do we adapt and come out of this? If you're worried about your finances because you don't have customers coming in or clients coming in, I understand that as well. But remember, one day you did start that business and you had no clients and you were scared then too. Oh my God, how am I going to pay the bills? But you made it, and you're going to make it again now, and you're going to thrive. Stay strong. Stay focused. Be around good people, and make yourself one of those good people, right? Add peace to the equation. When you communicate, don't engage in the fear-mongering. Engage in trust. Engage in truth of peace and joy and commitment, yeah? So let me give you some tools about how we can actually up-level that. How about let's do number 2, free gift. Let's talk about some breath. Breath. Breathe. Don't spell. Breath. Why care about your breath? Because right now you're losing it. So the first thing that happens when we experience any form of uncomfort and fear or pain is our breath gets shallow. When our breath gets shallow, our body chemistry changes. The muscle tissues get tight. Our physiology starts to get affected, which changes our body chemistry, our hormones, and we start to go sideways. When that happens, we start to shunt blood out of parts of our brain. We can't use what's called our neocortex or our higher thinking we go into lower parts of the brain function, and we go into a reaction, and reaction creates more stress, and then we feed that cycle. You can instantly break the cycle by choosing to breathe. Couple big breaths. When we go into the panic version of life and stress and fear, our breath gets shallow and we start affecting what's called our autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight part. And I don't need to keep holding my pen, but I guess it's my safety blanket right now. So when we affect that through shallow breathing and tension, that puts us in fight or flight mode. Fight or flight is what keeps us in stress. Then we produce things like cortisol and all this other stuff that keeps our system amped up. When you choose to start participating in your breath by consciously breathing in the nose, out the belly, right? Watch children belly breathe, or what's called diaphragmatically breathing, and it's proper breathing, right? So in the nose, out, let your belly expand. Your chest breathing isn't so good. Belly breathing is good. This calms the system down. You're putting in oxygen, you're breathing deeper, you're detoxing with greater exhale. And if you just slow down your exhale, so a big intake, slow your exhale down, it now activates what we call the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the rest and the digest. It brings you calmness, it brings you peace. So this is real, this isn't foo-foo. I can put on a device called the pulse oximeter, which they use in hospitals, to measure your heart rate and your respiration and your blood pressure. And by breathing this way, it'll calm down your physiology, which calms down your mind. So you can bring yourself out of chaos, or you can throw yourself right into it just by using your breath. Breathe, people. And then if you want to add next levels to your breath, breathe in good thoughts when you breathe in, and let go of the stuff when you exhale. Let go of the fear, let go of the doubts on the exhale, and breathe in the light and the trust in the truth on the inhale, right? So since I have a board behind me, your torso, it's from your neck to your hips, right? This is the part of your body, your torso. Right in the middle is the diaphragm, right? And that separates your body, hence that's what it is, diaphragm. So don't laugh at my drawings here, but rib cage, right? Sternum, and then the rest of your body. This piece right here is called the diaphragm. It's a Greek word, it means to separate. It's our breathing muscle. You know that your heart pumps blood, but your diaphragm is your breathing muscle. And it literally cuts all the way through the body. So it's all the way around through here. And when you breathe, when you inhale, the diaphragm goes down to pull air in, right? So hence the belly out. It's acting like a syringe or a vacuum, and the diaphragm pulls down and it pulls the air in. So it's an active process. And when you exhale, the diaphragm goes back up and it pushes the air out. So just understanding how your body works a little better helps out. So when you start to feel stress, panic, overwhelmment, breathe. It'll bring you back in your body. It'll bring you back into peace. And you have control over what your body's doing. You have control over your heart rate freaking out and your pulse rate freaking out. You do. And if this doesn't work for you or you don't believe it, great. Don't listen. Hit delete and walk away. Yeah. So activate this thing, right? So it's in this normal shape up here. When you breathe, it drops down this way. When you breathe in, when you exhale, it raises back up this way, right? Your lungs sit up in here. Bring in some life, bring in some light, bring in some joy. Take some breaths, right? So I'm going to take a moment at that point and see if anybody's throwing anything out there. There's two comments. So I'm going to grab the phone and see what's happening here interactive-wise. This is my first time doing this, so thanks for being with me, hanging out. Let me see what's happening and what beauty that you guys are sharing with me. We got some comments. This too shall pass. 100%, brother. Thank you, Thomas. Right? This too shall pass. Everything does. Stay strong while it's passing. Excellent. Congratulations, Heather, for tapping into your breath and learning how to breathe, right? That's why we teach it. I'm a certified breathwork instructor. That's why I use this in all my retreats. Breathing is king. Yeah. So if anybody else that's watching live right now, I'll do my best to answer some of the questions or comments later, but if you're watching now and you've got a question or a comment, please fire away. Again, if it's negative and stuff, I'm not going to answer it, right? Just delete yourself if this is not working for you. But if you're watching and this resonates, share, man. You got wisdom too, right? I've got some more things I'm going to share. I just want to take a moment to tap in. So thanks for everybody that's hanging with me in this moment. And do me a favor too, if this is working, share this. There's nothing to sell here. This is just offering to bring some sanity back into what's happening around the world. And as I've talked to my friends that are everywhere in Australia and Europe, I'm blessed to have friends all over this world, as many of you do, and they're going through stuff. So let's remember that. We're all going through this literally for the first time. The globe is going through something all at once. Let's remember that and bring it back into some unity here. And be kind to each other, right? Let's do that. Let's be kind to each other. Because we're all going through some stuff. But if you manage your environment, you're going to be cool. If you pay attention to your breath, you're going to be good. And if you start using some keys from conscious languaging, right? That's going to keep you active. Languaging, how are you speaking to yourself? Really important. So I'm not passing this on to anybody. I'm telling you my life experience as an expert in this world. I'm totally at peace traveling everywhere around this planet right now without any of the devices that might freak people out. Some people might think that that's inappropriate behavior. This isn't from ignorance or arrogance. It's from understanding how the body works and how it relates to its environment, right? I have a beautiful relationship with my environment. All the bugs around me. Remember, there's trillions of microbes in your body right now. If you didn't have them, you would die. So you have a relationship with microbes all the time. They're not bad and evil. We've been taught some inappropriate stuff, but I'm not going to go there in this free training right now. So yeah, remember how powerful you are, guys. And manage your environment. External, good things, put in some good food, nurture the body to keep it healthy. As Pasteur said on his deathbed, it's not the seed, it's the soil, meaning it's not the bug, it's the host. So as long as you keep your system healthy, you don't have anything to be afraid of. You don't. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I'm telling you, in this entire dynamic, there's no fear running through any part of my system. Zero. Not from ignorance, not from arrogance, because I walk in a place of understanding and trust, and that's why I'm taking this time to share with you. And that's what I'll be teaching in the art of living, giving people the tools to walk your life in trust. So the story that's being fed isn't real for me. It's not valid at all. From expert level, not from ignorance, yeah? Something else, yeah? So, sorry, I can't pull it. I think it just says, can I share this? I can't read the rest of it on my screen. But if you want to share this, please share this, 100%. Thank you for asking. And I'm requesting, right? If this resonates for anybody that's watching either live or post, pass it on, share it. That's what it's for. That's why I'm doing this. This is impromptu, right? As you can see, I've got on sweatpants and an old t-shirt from Mission Trips. So life just said do this now. I'm packing tonight and I'm heading out to DC for an event tomorrow. I'm going to a live event. Yes, I am. And this whole past weekend, I was in a mastermind in LA and I ran this high-level group through a breathing process. Here's people trapped in a room that are going for a long time, meaning we're swapping air. No one got ill. Matter of fact, we all got healthier, but it's respiratory, right? So be mindful. Talking about breathing. When you breathe deep, breathe in truth as well. Mindful of your fear. My system's super healthy. I challenge myself. Over 30 years, I've never put any chemicals in here in the sense of medicines. I don't need them. I've broken myself. Never a pain pill. I've worked with people who were paralyzed and got up and walk again. How is that possible? Because we're stronger than we remember, right? We're stronger than we give ourselves permission for. You know the stories where a child gets run over by a car and some small person walks over and picks up, bench presses the Hummer and pulls the child out. How is that possible? I can't pick up a Hummer because we tap into parts that we don't tap into. It's there. You've heard about the placebos. Well, there's also its mean cousin called the nocebo. But they're both just terms that we have to be tricked to tap into our power. The placebo is the positive aspects of tapping into our power. People take a sugar pill and their clinical depression goes away. Wow. People are told they have cancer and they die, and they cut them open and they had no cancer. Now, both of these stories are actually recorded documents. I'm not just making this stuff up. How is that possible? Because you have a force in you that's bigger than you realize. And the neat part is it's actually you, but that's for another video as well. Breathe. Manage your environment. When it starts to go sideways, bring it back online. So as it said, the mind is a great tool, but it's a crappy, crappy master. Don't let your mind override you. Remember, listen to your words. It's my mind. Well, if it's your mind, that means you're something bigger than it. Ring it back in, right? Rein it back in. Get your mind under control. And you can do that, not by thinking, but by breathing. There's an old saying in yoga that the mind masters the senses, but the breath masters the mind. So when you really get your breath back under control, you'll get your mind back under control as well. You'll be able to sleep better. You won't have to rely on this kind of stuff to get yourself to sleep. Just get your breath back under control. Cool? Conscious languaging. Really be mindful what you're saying to yourself and what you allow into this inner temple here. Are you allowing lots of fear and stuff that's causing overwhelm and freak out? Or are you choosing to focus on good stuff, right? Read good books. Watch good stuff if you're watching stuff. But unplug from the fear and the chaos. That's your choice. And if you don't, you're inviting it in. That's your choice as well. Just take responsibility for your choices. Cool? Anything else before I... No? So, yeah, there's more to go into. I'll see if I can still, time-wise, if we get the live streaming functional before I take off tomorrow. I'll go deeper into the training, yeah. But I just wanted to put this out there. So if this serves, share this with people just to help remember. We can all do this together. But I'm not going anywhere. My life is not canceled. So I'm still living full out. No matter what external restrictions might be put on me, I'm still living full out. And I support you to do the same, right? Until then, abundant blessings. And game on. Stay healthy. Keep breathing. Peace.